thank you so much for spending your Tuesday night with me. I can't wait to tell you about what coaching has done for me and just give you a little bit more of an idea of what's possible for you as well. So I'm Mackenzie and I live in Florida. I originally grew up though in West Virginia. I'm 27 years old and I live here with Darren, who's my boyfriend, but he's basically my husband, and his son, who we are with part-time, Boston, and our dog, who is a rescue, Mickey. And I graduated from West Virginia University with a undergrad in public relations. I definitely was one of those people who walked into college going, I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. And I just kind of picked something that looked like fun and it looked like I could kind of be creative and use like all of these things that I've used all throughout my life. So I originally thought I would work in like sports communications. I played sports all through high school. And I actually tore my ACL my senior year playing soccer. I don't know if anyone's ever been through a massive sports injury, not the best. So I played sports. So I thought I was going to like be a sports writer. I thought that would be my thing. I also had a connection to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I thought that maybe I would work with Make-A-Wish after graduation, but I did internships with those things throughout college. And I quickly found out that you make absolutely no money and you're a slave to those things when that's your job. So I learned also through college, through being a bartender, what being a slave to a job kind of felt like, except I knew what making money also felt like. And if you've ever been in the service industry, you know it's that good, quick cash, but that's pretty much it. And there's no growth from there. You're only going to make as much as you can make on a Friday night, right? And so I was coming up on graduation, and through college, I really developed some terrible, terrible habits. You can call it a phase if you want, which I think sometimes, unfortunately, we use that as an excuse in life that it's a phase, but I don't really feel like my phase would have ended if I hadn't found Beachbody. So it didn't really find me though. It found me through a person, and her name was Natalie Bailey. We started working together at that bar my freshman year of college. I met her, and it's so funny because we never in a million years would have ever expected to become absolute best friends, but we did. And so one day I was waking up at her house after a night out, and she was like, "Come to this workout with me," and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, no. And it was this workout called Insanity. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Insanity or P90X. Those are some of Beachbody's like first ever workout programs. You probably heard them like blaring on your TV at 3:00 in the morning through an infomercial. That's how a lot of people know Beachbody. They don't even know the name Beachbody. They know P90X or Insanity. So I did an Insanity workout with her, and I quite literally thought I was not going to survive it, but I did. And at the time, you know, I was just like in and out of things. I'd played sports all my life. So when I got to college and after that injury, I felt really lost. Like I had no direction in my fitness or in my nutrition. I had absolutely zero direction in everything. So I was like, okay, like I'm following a trainer. I can do this when I want to do it because it's like on a DVD. So I'm going to do this too. So she got it. She told me about it. I got it. I started telling people at our bar about it. They got it. And what was crazy was at the time, we had absolutely no idea there was this thing called being a coach. We were just doing a program, talking about it, sharing it, and other people were wanting to do it too because they could visually see that we were changing. So coaching truly did create itself. So in Beachbody, when they had these programs, they started to see that people weren't seeing success because they needed that peer support. And then on these online message boards, people started supporting one another, and they started seeing that people were sticking to their programs more. And then through that, coaching was birthed, and it became this opportunity where people can do these programs and products and change their lives, but also impact the lives of others, like their friends, their family. And now with social media being what it is, being able to impact people really anywhere in the world. We're in Canada, we're in the United Kingdom, we're in Puerto Rico, we're going to France this spring, and we're taking over the world. So we're really just getting started. But that is really in essence like what coaching is. It's doing a program, it's sharing it with other people. So, but through that, I did the program and I never really stuck with it. And I continued to just pile on bad habits after bad habits, pound after pound, insecurity after insecurity, literally just drinking and eating to suppress so many insecurities. I couldn't even begin to tell you all of them. And it's really just, how you get to a place in your life where you can't push things down any deeper. And there just comes a point where you have to kind of face it. And so I was coming to the end of my senior year and I was just like looking at the life ahead of me and I was like, this cannot be it. Like, there is no way this is it. I feel like crap. I don't feel excited about what I'm about to step into as far as graduating. And I don't want this to be the way that I live, like I just knew I could be better. And so Natalie, insert again, she had moved away at this point. She comes back into town. And to be quite honest with you, you guys, I was kind of like annoyed with her. I'm like, what is up with you? Why are you so happy? You're like shiny and you just look really good and like healthy. And I kind of hate you, but you're my best friend. So I love you. Like, what's happening here? And she started telling me that she was doing Beachbody workouts again. And like a couple months later, she actually started coaching again as well. And I was just like, I was right on board, but then I fell off again. I was in and out and in and out and in and out until finally I really did have enough. And despite all of my fear of trying again, I got involved. And the true turning point for me was having a group and being a part of a group. And that's what we run as coaches, these online virtual communities where people are plugged into people who are also doing these programs and they're helping them see results. And there was just something about like me knowing that other people were in there with me. And if I could maybe like show up and inspire them, I wasn't coaching at the time. I was just working on my own health and fitness. But knowing that other people were watching and other people were doing it with me, it really pushed me to show up for myself. I wasn't perfect by any means. I skipped every Friday workout. I went from drinking 7 days a week to 3 days a week, which is a huge win for me at the time. But for the first time in my life, I was really proud of myself for something. Like, it wasn't that I, flipped the script in 24 hours, but I was making changes, and it was because of this community. It was because I finally gave these at-home workouts a chance again that I was bashing for years. And I was trying to go behind my friend's back and do it my way, like at the gym and with a trainer and all of these things, because I was so stubborn. And the community was truly what was that missing link. And of course, the fitness and the nutrition are just state-of-the-art, world class. And I was really against Shakeology because I was like, I don't want no weight loss shake. Like, I've been there, I've taken the pills, I've done the fat blasters, like, I'm over it. And I'm like, and she's like, I'm telling you, it's not like that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand how it could be anything else until I started researching it. And I also started to understand for myself that doing this just to lose a quick pound was never going to make me happy. I looked at my mom one day and I was like, she didn't go around at 22 eating Taco Bell and drinking 9 days a week, right? And she's healthy and happy and she's alive right now with me. And I started to think about like the trajectory of my life, and it was so much more than a couple of pounds. I started to think about how my organs were functioning. I started to think about, my actual cellular body that it is and what it was doing every day. And when I started to research Shakeology more, number one, I realized you can drink this pregnant, so it has to be safe. And number two, I looked at the ingredients, I researched it. I realized this is a holistic approach to your body functioning at its highest level. And what happens is, because of that, it is a byproduct is going to be that you're going to lose weight because your body is now functioning at its highest, most best, that's not correct grammar, state. And it felt so good. Like I didn't feel like Taco Bell was like seeping out of my pores anymore. Like, on a cellular level, I felt like I'd like shed this skin and I felt like shinier, like my friend was. I was like, why are you so shiny and like healthy, and she had this glow, and it really brought that feeling into my life again. And I've been drinking it now for 5 years, every single day. The chocolate, and it's a godsend. It is really something that I couldn't imagine my life without. So I was a total skeptic, you guys. And really what changed the game for me was that community. And at the same time, having a coach that didn't give up on me. So it's really key to see that what we do is so much more than maybe what you've seen on the external that we've shown you. We're really back here just really helping people reach their goals and not giving up on them, because we believe in them and we know that we can help them. So I was really hungry for growth, and I was really excited about all of these changes that I was seeing. And she was asking me to coach. And of course, I had every single fear in the book there too. I was skeptical about everything there as well. I was coming right out of college, and like I was telling you, I wasn't stoked about what was ahead of me. So I was playing this in my head. I was kind of like where you guys are right now. You're on this webinar, you're listening, something is playing in here that brought you here tonight, or maybe on this recording as you watch this back. I didn't think I was at my goal weight yet. So I didn't think anyone was going to listen to me or trust me. And every single day I was posting about drinking at a bar and had a beer in my hand. So how the heck am I going to switch that to a dumbbell and be a coach? And what I realized was that being at your goal weight is the last thing people need. They just need to see that you're being authentically who you are, whether you've been a coach for a day or 7 years. Your authentic story is the most important thing that you can tell. You don't have to start and pretend to be somebody else. Be exactly where you are and bring people with you on this journey. Because it's not really that before and after that's inspiring. It's how you got to the after. Like, it's every single day in between, when you're tired, when you feel like giving up, when you're frustrated, when it's hard. That's what people want to see. So it's actually kind of an advantage if you are just getting started and you're on that journey right now, because that's like the best thing that you could show people. And if you're not here for a weight loss journey, that's okay too, because there are tons of other transformations that go on when you just start to take care of yourself more. So it doesn't have to be physical, it can be internal. And that was really, truly the main thing that was happening for me. Then I started to think to myself, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I did not get any kind of a degree in business. Like, that can't be a business owner. And I was all like freaked out about the how. And what I realized is there are so many like moments in our life where we have absolutely no idea how we're going to do it, yet we do it. Right? Like, I was a freshman in college and I was like, how the heck am I going to live on my own, work, make good grades, keep my scholarship, like eat and sleep? How am I going to now just do this as an 18-year-old? Yet we figured it out. And I'm sure if you're a mom, you had that feeling when you held that baby for the first time. How the heck am I going to do this? But when you care about something, you can figure it out. And our team is here to guide you the entire way. We provide you with the tools. We provide you with the mentorship. We provide you with the resources. You're not going to go without when it comes to how to do it. It's just figuring out if you want to do it, if you care enough to figure out the how. So I was also worried, what people would think. I was terrified about what people were going to say. I was from a small town and people talk. My grandma goes to the same diner every morning. People sit around. I knew things were going to be said. Even in my college town, I was terrified. I was terrified of what people were going to think of me when I started sharing my health and fitness journey. And quickly I realized how that was kind of debilitating me in so many other areas of my life. And I'm not really sure that I would have ever grown past that if it weren't for becoming a coach. I would still probably be sitting in absolute total fear, freaking out over what people would think of me if I hadn't been pushed to kind of overcome that through this. And Rachel Hollis has said this, that someone's opinion of you is none of your business. And I can't imagine if I wouldn't be living the life that I'm living right now if I would have worried about what Sally was going to say. Like, it doesn't matter. And it's really going to show you, we're going to help you grow through those fears and insecurities that we've all had. And you're going to feel yourself flourish in so many other areas of your life. So I really, really wanted to move forward, and I started coaching part-time. So I was still bartending at the time. I started working my business part-time. And a lot of people I think that you just jump right into this and you have to have all the time in the world, and that everybody is a full-time coach and it's whatever. But it's not the case at all. Every single person that you see doing this started exactly where you're sitting right now, probably with a full-time job, maybe 2 full-time jobs, kids at home, who knows? Like, we all started when there was not a ton of time to get this business done, but it was all about what you did with your time. So I would work, like, before I went into my shifts, I would work after my shifts really late at night. I would stay in on the weekends and not go out and party as much. I was, I was moving things around, and I was making sacrifices where I needed to make them. I would run in the bathroom at work to answer something or post my post. And now there's so many awesome things where you can schedule posts and like set up your social media to basically run itself while you're not even there. But it was in the pockets of my time. It was in an hour in the morning or an hour at night. And it wasn't that it took a ton of time. It just took really focused, concise time. And we teach you what to do in that time. So it's all up to you. If you want to spend more time on it and get it to a place where you leave your full-time job, that's one thing. If you want to stay at that small pockets of the time each day, that's another thing, because it's totally going to be based on your goals, your efforts, and what you're here to do. And we're here to help you reach your goals. So when you share with us the things that you want to do with this business, we're going to show you what that's going to look like in your schedule and kind of help you break that down. But I was starting to pay for my products with those part-time hours. I was starting to go on more vacations. I was saving to go and travel more. I was saving up to move to Florida. So I'd always had this dream to live somewhere like where I live now. And I never in a million years would have had the confidence to do that had I not started as a coach. Like, literally every single thing that I'd done at that point was building my confidence. So I was like, I'm going to move to Florida. I saved my money. I got down here, and I started bartending here too. I was continuing to do this part-time, and the income that I earned from coaching actually gave me like a solid cushion when I got here to kind of figure things out for a month. And when I started bartending, that's where I met Darren. And I always like to know that, like, you guys, I was in like the worst relationships, the worst. Okay. And if that all had to do with my worth, that all had to do with how secure I was as a person. And I really don't think I would be with the man that I'm with now. Again, if I had become a coach and worked on my confidence and worked on my worth. And that to me is like terrifying to think about, because he's just the most wonderful person that I could have ever asked for. And so there's just a powerful shift that happens when you start taking care of yourself. It literally made these little moments happen in 1,000 other areas of my life. And I had a turning point on Thanksgiving, the first year that I lived in Florida. It was the first time that I wasn't with my family or over a holiday. I wasn't with Darren. I wasn't with my friend. I was literally crying on the floor of my apartment all alone. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, is this what you want? Right? Like, is this what you want, to be slaving at this job and doing this coaching thing part-time? And I realized, like, I needed to choose my hard in that moment, because yeah, it was hard to get to where I was at that point as a coach, and it was going to be even harder to get myself to the next level where I could leave my bartending job and do this full time. But it was either choose that hard or continue to live in a life where I felt stifled and upset and unfulfilled and feeling like I wasn't getting the most out of this time that I had here on earth. And so I made that choice to choose the hard, and I chose to fight for the dreams that I had and the life that I wanted. And I wrote down on a piece of paper, I'm going to leave my bartending job in February of 2017. And I put my 2 weeks in on my birthday in February of 2017 and left 2 weeks later. And it was like the scariest thing I'd ever done, just like saying yes to this. But you have wings, you guys. They're there. You just have to jump. so that you give yourself a reason to use them. And jumping is honestly the scariest part. But your wings are going to be there. Trust me, you're going to find them. It is insane to me what we're capable of and what's inside of us if we just put ourselves in a position to find out. So at that point, I was like, I'm making this happen. And I started to build my business more. And ever since then, really ever since day one from the first year, I've seen a raise every single year doing this. This became my full-time income where I surpassed bartending. I surpassed any income that I would have made at a startup PR or sports communications job. And through that, I was completely free. I was making the decisions as to where my time was, whether it was home in West Virginia with family or picking up Boston from school. And there have just been so many moments where I'm so glad that I chose the hard that I chose, because you're going to look back, there's going to be something that happens and you're going to look back and say, that decision I made 2 years ago or 4 years ago, or right now tonight being on this call, it literally set me up and prepared me to be in this moment where I'm at right now. And I had that moment last year. My grandpa's health took an immediate turn, and he was always really sick, but he got really, really sick. And I was able to get on a plane and get there and be there. And I was the only person out of my entire family that was able to be by his side for the entire 2 weeks, take care of him when he came home, and be his caregiver. And my family was a little skeptical of this when I first started, but they were thanking me in that moment. And I was thanking myself. I was thanking myself for choosing something that was scary 4 years in the, way before I ever knew I would need to be there in that moment. And it's just that I never want anyone to feel like they wish they'd, maybe had a different option in those moments where they wish things were different. So anywho, now our dream is to continue to build that and be in those moments and be where we need to be when it matters most with the people who matter most. Because I can't imagine life any differently. And I'm just so thankful for that. But at the same time, we're moving forward to build financial freedom and bring Darren home so we can raise our family together and travel together and just be present and really just soak in those moments of life with our kids and kind of do things on our own terms. So I want to tell you guys how we earn and what that looks like to give you a little bit more of an idea. So we earn one way we earn is retail commission. So 25% off, 25% from all retail sales. So that's kind of what I would call like level one. And that's kind of where I was at in that first year of just covering my products and having a little bit of extra. And then the other way that you're going to earn is through growing your leadership and growing a team and building an organization and teaching people how to do this too. So that you might be thinking, well, what does that look like? Because there's a lot going on out there that might be teaching you something totally not correct. And the way I like to explain this is, say Taylor comes to me and she starts coming to my gym, okay? And she's having a great time. She's loving it. She's seeing results. And Taylor goes, I want to open my own gym. And I'm going to be like, all right, girl, like, let's do that. So we open a gym. I teach Taylor exactly what to do. I give her the resources. I mentor her. I show her how to get her gym to where she wants it. I teach her all the things that she needs to know. And we're working together to help her see success and her reach her goals. Beachbody's going to be like, dang girl, like you're doing a great job, like helping Taylor. She's crushing it. She's living her best life. We're going to compensate you for that. So I don't take anything that Taylor's earning from her gym. Beachbody compensates me based on my leadership and how I'm helping Taylor reach her goals. Does that make sense? So nothing is being taken from anyone. Everything's being rewarded to you from Beachbody. And we can dive into that more with you, but that's kind of like where your residual income is going to come in as you mentor more people in the business. And if you're wondering how the heck would I do that, don't worry. That's why we have, again, a team. We have resources. We have things in place to help you come in, kind of get your feet underneath of you, and then begin building your team, because we have all the resources in place for you to do that. You also might be wondering, is this one of those pyramid schemes. And the reality of that is absolutely not, because those are illegal and I wouldn't have a job. So Beachbody's been around for 21 years. We're going on 21 years. And we are in no way, shape, or form a pyramid scheme, because you would, A, we wouldn't literally be open. B, I wouldn't be able to out earn anyone above me in the organization, and people are out earning people all the time. Like, it's happening all the time. So you can out earn anyone. It doesn't matter where you are and when you come into the business. And somebody actually brought this up to me the other day, asking me, isn't this a pyramid scheme? And I was like, well, to be completely honest, I feel like corporate America is more of a pyramid scheme. I feel like the situation right now with student loans is more of a scheme than anything, because I would have walked into a job right out of college. I wouldn't have been able to earn more unless I put in more time, or someone left and I would have applied to get their spot, right? That to me sounds really unfair. I didn't like that. I wanted to be in charge of what I was doing and what I was earning and the impact that I was having. So this is not a pyramid scheme. You can out earn anyone at any time, and you're paid by Beachbody. You're not paid from taking from people's checks and earnings from underneath of you. The other thing that I want to make sure you guys know is that we don't have any of these like crazy requirements. I have heard absolute horror stories from people, and I think this is why network marketing has gotten maybe a bad name and a bad reputation. There are, somebody one time was like, do you like buy Shakeology and keep it in your garage and then like have to ship out boxes of it? And I was like, oh no. And I also heard someone say one time that they like didn't hit a benchmark in their company one month and they lost all of their customers and they lost their entire business. I was like, what? So the only requirement that we have is that you're paying Beachbody $15.95 a month to what I call do the dirty work, which is send out the orders, take care of our online office. They give us a website. They give us literally everything. They create the programs. They create the products. They create the tools. They create a lot of the marketing. Like literally, they give us everything. And if you're a coach on here, you know every single tool is given to you, because I was a little like, I don't know anything about health and fitness. And the reality of it is I don't need to, because I am partnered with professional trainers, professional nutritionists. I pair my clients with those people. And then I am that person that is kind of that in between. I'm helping them. I'm guiding them. I'm getting them through those fears. I'm cheering them on along the way. So there's no crazy, like have to buy $1,000 worth of Shakeology and then sell $1,000 worth of Shakeology to earn a profit. And I also think that's why network marketing and sales gets a bad rep, because there's all that pressure, right? Like, oh, I have this like giant investment and now I have to sell to make it back. And the only thing that you do as a coach is you invest in something that you probably would be eating or drinking or using anyway, which is one of our products. So you're just investing in your own health. And Beachbody says, if you want to be a coach, you got to love these products and these programs that you're sharing about, which I'm so glad, because there are absolutely no fakers out there. But at the same time, they're saying like, we don't want to put all of these crazy requirements on you and all of these massive, ridiculous things, because we want you to be here. Like, we don't want to push you to build your business. We want you to want to build your business. We want you to want to impact people. So every single coach is doing this because they love this and they want to impact people's lives in a really, really positive way. So there's no like penalties like that. There's really only rewards. And some people, they are doing it bad. Let's be honest, guys. There is a lot out there that's not what I would say right. But I know I've had a bad server. I know I've even had a bad doctor. I've had some bad teachers. There's people in every single profession who probably aren't doing it the best that they could be. But we're going to teach you how to do it right. We're going to teach you how to lead from a place of love. And we're going to teach you how to lead from a place of connection and changing your life to help other people change theirs, and leading and growing so that you have more to give. And it's not a quantity game. This business isn't built off of signing up 1,000 people every single month. It's really just built off of helping people every single month reach their goals and then continuing to do that. So it's really a quality over quantity situation. And we're going to teach you how to do this where it feels really, really good. And you feel excited to go out and talk to people about this every day. And you feel excited to show up in someone's inbox and share with them what you're doing because you feel connected to them and they're following your story and you guys have related in some way. And I also love that we don't lead with Beachbody. We lead with ourselves. We lead with our story. We are free to build our own brand. We don't have to lead with Beachbody's brand. We lead with our own brand. We lead with our own story. And this is going to give you that opportunity to kind of pull back your layers and see what's inside of you that you want to impact the world with and leave your mark with. Because it truly doesn't have to be health and fitness. Like I don't love working out. I like what working out makes me feel like, and I like the quality of life that it gives me. I don't love healthy food. I love the way I do love the way it tastes typically because my body's used to it now. But the reality of it is, guys, if I could eat a cheesesteak every single day or just Mexican, just in tons of queso every day with margaritas all the time, and it didn't make me feel like I wanted to absolutely just fall over and die, I would totally do that. But that's not going to give me a very good quality of life. Been there, done that, don't really want that. So all of that stuff is trickled in here and there, but you don't have to be what I would consider a typical health and fitness guru, right? Just be you. Share your story, share your brand, share why you're making these changes and what it's doing for you. If you absolutely love health and fitness, great. Bring your workouts that maybe you've created into this. Bring nutrition that maybe you already know into this. There's totally a place for literally everyone because you have the freedom with your own branding and your own messaging. And you are, okay, wait, let me just find my spot really fast. Oh, and then the final thing I wanted to share on that was, we're not just a product. So yes, you make the exchange through Shakeology or the fitness, but the reality of it is, guys, is everything happens after that. That's really where what we do starts, where we're starting to help people get their transformation. And it's not just a product because it's depression being healed. It's anxiety being healed. It's people coming off of their medicines, people becoming better wives and better daughters and better husbands and better, everything because they're taking care of themselves. And that really creates a powerful ripple effect in the world. And, sometimes I think I'm so cliche and rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns, but I totally believe that if you are helping just even one person be more secure in who they are and feel better about who they are, you're touching 5 more people just by helping that one person because they're bringing that into every other relationship in their life, and that's going to spread to 5 more, and that's going to spread to 5 more. So it's so special. It's not just buy this, it's become a part of this, and it means so much to all of us. So like I said, there's no penalties, but there's rewards. So we don't get penalized. So you can set goals based on the vision and the dreams that you have with this business. And those are going to look different for everyone, but you're never penalized for not hitting a certain benchmark or achieving a certain goal or rank in the company. However, you can be rewarded based on your benchmarks and, ranks within the company. So we go on 5-star vacations every year. Trust me, when I started, there was not Darren and I weren't hey, let's go on this 5-star vacation to Punta Cana for $5,000. Why not? We were both bartending. We didn't just have $5,000 laying around to go on this vacation. If we had $5,000 laying around, we probably would have spent it on something totally different. Because I know everybody guilts themselves when they want to do something nice for themselves. Am I right or am I right? Well, with this, we could earn it. And every year I have earned a trip to Punta Cana or Mexico. We've gone on a cruise. I've taken Darren, and it has been it's just been the craziest. This is not just go somewhere and you're in a Hilton Garden Inn. You are in a all-inclusive resort. Everything is paid for. And you earn this through helping people reach their health and fitness goals each month. So basically, by showing up and building your business, you're going on free vacations every single month by impacting lives. Another thing that you can be a part of are kind of higher up leadership retreats where you hear from even more incredible speakers. You get to, like, I just went to LA a couple weekends ago, about a month ago, and I'd never been to the West Coast, and it was so awesome. And I just like got to like learn and grow as a leader. And it really excited me because I was so excited to bring that back and help other people grow and become leaders. So I love the personal growth because it's really just opened up my life to such a richer experience. And you can also go to Arizona, I think is where our 5-star leadership one will be this year. And then we also have an event called Summit that is open to every single coach. It's not something you have to earn. You can just come and you get to work out with all the trainers. You get to see all your teammates. You get to go to these trainings. It's incredible parties. And this year we're going to New Orleans. And we do this really cool thing called the Super Workout, where literally 30,000 coaches take over a street. And we do like an hour and a half long workout with every single Beachbody trainer. And it sounds crazy. Trust me, every year I'm like, oh, I'm dying. But it's so much fun. Like, you look to your left and you look to your right and you see people that like literally look totally different than you, but they have a story and they're there getting better. And it's just so empowering. Like, there's nothing like being a part of that the energy is nuts. And that kind of brings me into what is so special about our community. I have always had, kind of those solid friends, like that solid best friend and Natalie, my friend from college. But there's just something about having people in your life that like get what you're trying to do. When I was trying to make changes in my life and my health and fitness, I needed this community because the people around me, they weren't where I was at. And it really helped me having this community, whether it was virtual or not, who cares? Guys, we're connected all the time now. So I basically feel like I see these people all the time. It doesn't matter if they're at work with you or not, like, connect. We're here and we want to help you. And so having people in your life that are just like-minded, it makes such a difference. And like Darren and I have become best friends with like a lot of the couples on this team, and he's like best friends with a lot of the guys. And they even made this group called the Men Behind the Lens, and it's like they laugh at how they have to take our picture. Like, it's funny. I mean, they love each other, but it's really like impacted kind of everyone around us. And now Darren does these workouts. His son will do these workouts with him. Waterworks. But health is part of our family because health is in our home. And it's just part of what we know. It's not something that, we're going out and separating from the ones that we love. It's something that, my mom is now a part of this. My dad is hopefully getting into workouts this month. It affects everyone around you. And it's hard to make friends as an adult sometimes, right? Like, I mean, do you guys agree? It can be hard to make friends as an adult. And when I moved to Florida, I had my one friend, Natalie, who then moved, and I was freaking out. I had nobody here. And I went to some Beachbody events because we also do quarterly, like smaller events in like tons of cities across the United States. And I didn't know these people, right? But I knew that we had something in common, which was Beachbody or health and fitness and that growth. And I met some girls that are literally 3 girls that are my absolute best friends here in Florida. And I don't know what I would have done without them. It's so hard to make friends sometimes as an adult, but when you have that common thing, it makes a huge difference. So what's next from here? Well, basically, a couple places to start is just get in touch with your coach. If you are already familiar with like the programs and the products and kind of what I was talking about in those virtual groups and the communities, then really it's very simple to just kind of start working with her and working with your team to start changing some lives. And we all have systems in place to where you can start and take that very step by step. If you're not familiar with the health and fitness, then the best place to start is your health and fitness and just getting yourself in one of those groups, becoming a part of this community and this atmosphere, and really just seeing what it's all about, learning about the programs, learning about the products, and just kind of watching them change your life, because they absolutely will, and you'll love it. And then it'll feel so easy even to just go out and share that. But what I wanted to kind of just end with before we jump into questions is I've always kept this near and dear to my heart, because will you work hard? Yes. Will there be struggles? Yes, there is with everything. But I always think about like The worst case scenario is not doing something and stumbling and failing and it feeling hard and kind of just finding your way and maybe feeling scared. The worst case scenario is never taking action and missing out on the life that was on the other side of all of it. And I just remember that. I think about that every single day. And if I can leave you with anything, I want to leave you with that. Don't be afraid of the journey. Be afraid of never finding out what's possible for you on the other side of it. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Ask something. Come on, guys. Just ask me a question. Literally anything. I know I covered a lot, but if there's anything that you would like for me to kind of like touch on a little bit more, we'll do that. And then we'll jump off of here. Anybody have a question?
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Lynette. All right. So I currently do keto, and I've been doing keto for over a year.
Okay.
And I right now I am a coach.
Okay.
I coach others during keto. So how can I tie this in with what I am doing? Because I think that was the main thing that kind of really drew me, the fact that I'm able to use my brand alongside of this. That's
Right.
like awesome, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm still brand new. So I mean, I haven't done this, you know, for a long time. So I still don't really know exactly what I'm doing personally, but it's just very comforting to hear that, you know, there is a guide and there's something that I can use that can also help me.
Yeah. So so you use keto and you're kind of wondering, like, how do you work that in with Beachbody?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
So basically, it's just you find out where people are. So maybe people will need keto and you can provide them that service. Maybe they'll need the nutrition that Beachbody provides. So really, it's like even what I do isn't always necessarily what someone that I'm talking to and a client of mine is going to need, if that makes sense.
That's true.
So what we do is kind of, we ask questions. So I think about it like I go into a doctor's office and I sit down and they ask me what my symptoms are. They ask me what hurts. They kind of get an idea what they need to prescribe me. And so when we're talking to clients, helping get started, that's kind of the approach that we take. We're asking them about them so that we can customize and give them what they need. So maybe by them, if you know that they're in a place with their health that they need something like that, that's great. But if not, then you also have the nutritional tools that Beachbody provides. We have 2 nutrition programs that are amazing and really different from one another. So they typically work for somebody because they either need one or the other. And you can just kind of funnel them into that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. It does. Thank you.
Yeah. Where do we find the guide? So maybe you're thinking about the guide to get started or the trainings to get started or the nutrition guides. So the nutrition guides and the programs are all like within just, each program has a nutrition guide. There are nutrition programs available through Beachbody On Demand. And then there's also guides that like your coach will probably provide you and your team will provide you. There's literally a guide to everything. There's even guides to like post in your challenge group. So if you get started and you're like, what would I even say? There's guides for every single program there's even guides of what to say in conversations. There's guides for how to explain Shakeology. There is a guide for everything. So like I said, if you don't know the answer, either your coach will or Beachbody will, and you're not necessarily, you don't have to look at yourself as the person that has to have all the answers, right? Like just be authentic. It's okay if you don't know the answer. They're not going to think anything less of you. That's why you're partnering with the professionals and the trainers and your coach. Thanks for asking.
Perfect.
Anybody else?
I'm trying to think of another one actually.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. This is Lynette again.
Okay.
So yes, I have another question. So, like, cause I know you all do, like the workouts, correct? And I think that's another great thing because I am currently working out and things like that. And I think that is a big part of any lifestyle change also. Are there any, like, okay, do we get, like, I think once because I've already enrolled. I mean, I already have access and everything like that. I just haven't got a chance to really kind of go through it yet.
Okay.
But are there like any exercises for like beginners, like for some people that haven't started their journey yet?
Yep. So we have programs that range from literally like pregnancy to beginner, low impact. I just finished BAR, which was very, very low impact. Definitely something that you can use as a starter program. We have tons of programs that even have modifiers. So every single program, even if it looks like super advanced, it's going to have a modifier. So that way, no matter what level you're at, you can start there. My mom was doing BAR, and I know it rained people. Its ranges, our age range is crazy. Boston even did a workout with Darren the other day because there's stuff on there that kids can do with their parents. So we have a really wide variety. And so I really feel like if you talk to your coach or talk to me or somebody, that you can kind of maybe nail down a specific program. Or if you have a client that's looking for a specific style of program, you can talk to your coach or read more about, you know, the different programs in the BOD library to then kind of direct people where they would need to go.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I'm excited, honestly. So.
Yay, good. That's awesome. Thanks for asking some questions. Okay, so we also have, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, and I was just laughing.
Oh, okay. All right. Earlier you talked about when you first got started, that you were worried about what other people would say or think. How did you get over that? Like fear of posting or sharing with others about what you're doing? That's a really good question. So I really don't think you can get over anything without doing it. And so the more that I just took the step, the easier it felt. And I felt more comfortable to share more openly. So I really just feel like there's no way around it besides just doing it, but also having the team around you, knowing that they're going to be supporting you. So typically the support and encouragement is going to tune out and drown out any kind of negativity. And so that really made me feel good too. Knowing I had a team around me that was going to support my posts and support me, and a coach that was going to support me, that made a huge difference. And there's also different like books and podcasts that we will introduce you to that are going to help you with your mindset, that are going to help you with literally getting over what other people think of you. There's so many things out there that kind of coach you through that mentally so that you get yourself to the place of taking the action. But through time, I really got over it through seeing like that nothing bad was actually happening. You know, I think sometimes we just build up these fears in our head because our brains were actually programmed to run away from anything that felt scary. But once I started to do it, it got a lot less scary. I hope that helps. But just know that we've all kind of been there at one point or another. And you just have to ask yourself if it's worth it, if your dreams are worth it, if the life that you want to build is worth it. And I feel like that is really going to kind of be that full driving force to get you into those resources and get you doing it. When you get results from any program, sharing your before and after should help with sharing. I know that from experience. No can doubt actual results. Also the community. Yes. So that's so true too, that like you're going to get more confident the more that you continue to get results and you continue to build your confidence through these programs and these products and just keeping those commitments to yourself. And so the more confidence you build, the less you worry about, you know, those opinions, and the less that you worry about what other people are going to think of you. And I think that makes a huge difference too. Thanks for adding that, Savannah. All right, guys. Anybody else have any other questions? This was awesome. Thanks so much for being here with me. All right, guys. So from here, like I said, just go talk to your coach, get involved, ask them, you know, where they feel like you need to go from here. And we can't wait to see you in our team. So thanks so much for being here. I love y'all so much. And we'll see you later. Bye.